Morning, people. It is Tuesday, the 19th of November. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. It's just me and Brent at the moment. But as always, favorite shade queen, my own royalty.
Good morning. Oops, easy. Good morning. Good
You saw
morning.
yourself easy.
No, I said oopsie daisy.
Oh,
Something just dropped from
you
above.
told yourself easy.
All right. Obviously, when it is that you opened the door today,
Yes,
you gave me such great news.
I did give you very great news.
And you didn't know how great it was for me when it is that
I
you
did
gave it
not,
to me.
actually.
She
Scooby.
she walked in and she had a look on her face, and I'm like, Esther, what's wrong? Because obviously
What's wrong?
I've got high EQ and stuff.
Obviously. Obviously.
And then she says, "Oh, it's snowing outside."
No, I didn't. I said I
How
have
did
to
it go?
ski here.
All right, I have to ski. Yeah.
Then he said, huh? I said, it's snowing outside. Brennan just in here all warm and cozy.
Yes, and my heart just fluttered because I really like when it's warm inside and there are snowflakes
Yeah.
falling, pitter-pattering on the ground outside. And that just means
Pitter-patter,
that
pitter-patter.
Christmas is going to be a Christmas.
Do you know what's so funny? You're one of them Brits. I was thinking about that on the way, actually. Because basically, it started off as rain, innit? But as I was going, it was like, it was falling on my windscreen, like, in splats. And I just said, since when has the rain not dropped? Like, when is raindrop not dropped? Then I said, this is very thick rain. I said, wow, the heavens are going through it.
Going through.
And then as I said, no, this is not rain. It's sleet. But then, actually, to be fair, it was rain when I left my house.
Yeah.
Then halfway through my journey, it became sleet. Then by the time I was like very close here,
Yeah.
it was snow. It was snow. And I did think, oh gosh, these what's it called? The Brits are gonna start saying, oh, it's gonna be a white Christmas. Well, it's a white land. It's always a white Christmas. But they're gonna, oh my gosh, it's a white Christmas. It might not be.
Well,
To be fair, though, this is climate change because it's November. It don't snow in November.
it's nearly December though.
Yeah, but there's not nearly. It's midway through November. We've got their Christmas lights out already.
Tomorrow's the 20th.
Yeah.
And then we have maybe 10 more days
They've got 10
until
days.
December. 10 and a bit.
But then usually though, anyway, this is early. But people have got their Christmas lights out. My sister
Serious.
announced it was time last week.
For baby.
No, for Christmas songs. So she every year she's got a Christmas playlist. It drives me up the walls. Because basically my sister, the one right after me, the one holder, she has like a speaker, like a DJ speaker. So everyone else plays the music out of their phone or the little Bluetooth little pills. Yeah. No. She's got a proper speaker.
Yeah.
So when she's playing music, everyone's playing, you hear it.
Well, to be honest, that doesn't mean that everyone should hear it. It just means that she basically
makes sure that everyone hears
very
it.
Disrespectful. Because she could turn that
She don't
down
care.
low.
She don't
So
care.
it's just her that's
She don't give two
enjoying it.
shits. I tell you that
God
for a
damn
fact.
it.
So, the world waits for Mariah to say it's time. Obviously, you know, she defrosts and whatnot. But what really haunts me is when my sister says it's time. Because until Boxing Day, that's all I'm going to hear. Christmas songs.
Do you think that Mariah this Christmas is going to hit the same scene as Celebrity is Dead?
Mariah is eternal.
Ooh, okay.
Mariah, so basically, yeah, I don't think she used to make a big deal about is Christmas. I feel like the radios was the one that was playing her tracks all the time. But in the last 3 years, she's kind of leaned into it.
Yeah.
So now it's like people are waiting for a skit from her, like an actual official video to be like it's time.
Yeah.
So this year she even did one around Halloween time.
All right.
People were like, oh, like, girl. So she did she had like a Halloween doppelganger situation. She's like, no, not yet.
Not yet.
And then so that went by. And then about a week, 2 weeks after, then she did the It's Time one and she defrosted. So I love that she leans into it. No one will ever beat that song. You can't.
Here's a hot take. Do you think that, obviously, God forbid that she passes on, right? But eventuality, everybody does.
Everyone
right?
does.
Do you think that we are going to miss her more than we miss Michael Jackson? only because she has
The
an
Christmas song.
anniversary.
Nah, I don't think
A
so.
world anniversary.
Yeah, but I think that she's really remembered during Christmas.
Precisely.
But Michael Jackson remembered all through the year.
I don't know about that.
He is.
Do you wake up and think about Michael Jackson?
I don't wake up and think about Michael Jackson even when he was alive. I don't wake up and think about anybody. People that he's waking up thinking about.
But the world looks forward to Mariah every single Christmas.
Every single Christmas, yes.
And every single Christmas without fail.
But what's Michael's season then?
He doesn't have a season.
But do people think about him throughout the year?
Only when. Nah.
What? Anyway, there's pedophilia in the
I
news.
was up. Oh.
Spider-Man!
That's your words. They can't see me.
To be fair though, he does every time there's he beat the charges, but he ain't beat them charges. Because every time there's those conversations going on, R. Kelly, Diddy, child, he's a Hall of Fame.
Question though, can I? Let's just become a billionaire, right? And I decide to build an amusement park in my backyard.
I'm gonna bring my kids there.
But would my character
actually no, I would bring my kids there.
make it so that you don't think that
Yeah, but
your
you're not
kids
sleeping
won't be safe?
Yeah, but you're not sleeping in the same bed with my kids though.
It starts with the amusement park being built.
It doesn't.
Right?
It doesn't.
And then
because the Thorpe Park staff don't sleep with kids.
24-hour open area,
actually,
right?
Yes.
And then obviously the kids want to like. I should stop talking about this. It's
Uncle
crazy.
Brent's bed. Impossible.
It's crazy.
That's impossible.
Absolutely bonkers.
That's quite literally impossible. But no, if you build an amusement park at your backyard, I'll bring my kids.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what kind of other.
Because it would be the best amusement park.
No, but it depends what other kids you got around them.
And you have roti, you have.
It depends what other doubles
curry
and that.
good, you have
It depends
doubles.
It depends what other kids you've got around.
I'll
kids.
be United Nations, to be honest.
Yes, I don't know about that.
I'll be United Nations.
I wouldn't want my kids to play with certain kids.
Remember,
based on who their parents are.
My perfect world is for there not to be any racism.
No, it's not about racism. Oh, I don't care about racism. I've got white friends.
So I'm building for the future.
I don't care about that. I've got white friends, I've got black friends, I've got Indian friends, I've got Turkish friends, I've got Cypriot friends, I've got Greek friends, I've got everybody in United Nations in my life, right? It's not about that. It's about some adults are crazy. So I know that when you have children, you got mini crazies. And your little crazy kids are not going to be around my balanced kids. Heck no. And my kid comes
Do
to
you
us
think
like
your
weed.
children will be a splitting image of you? Not obviously looks-wise.
Or like character?
Character-wise.
No, there's certain parts of my character I wouldn't want my children to have.
Like what? Oh, you don't want them to have
I don't want them to have the
empathy.
No, I want them to be empathetic, but not as empathetic as I am.
Yeah.
But I would raise them not to be that though.
How?
I raise them to put themselves first. I'll raise them with a healthy balance of caring about people, but also looking out for yourself. Mine was skewed.
Fair. What characteristics would you not
Yeah.
want to pass on to you? Why is it too dark on this boy?
I wouldn't want them to... That wickedness that lays in me. That wickedness that lays in me, I wouldn't want them to have that.
You actually acknowledge that you have wickedness in you?
I've never denied it.
Serious?
I've never denied it. Every time I want to lean into it, the Holy Spirit stops me.
I have a question to put to but I want everybody in.
Boy, this is it for today. Everybody in.
Not today.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not today.
Good
morning, Manuel.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Blessed and highly
Good.
favored.
Blessed and highly favored.
Thank
How are
God.
you?
I'm alright, man. Just getting used to the fact that there's snow outside.
You're so dramatic. It started 10 minutes ago. When you're getting used to it.
Because I feel like it's an attack.
I'm going to say, though, I just want to, just to be clear, I don't drive in the snow. I tell you so this every year. I don't drive in the snow. So, quite honestly, if it snowed up, there will be no TDA from me. Good luck to the people that got 4x4s. To be fair, Marks and E-Man should be the ones in here. I got little Miss Daisy. I don't come in. Matter of fact, today can't even be too long. Because if I look out the window at 9:30 and it's still snowing, we're gonna have to wrap this shit up. I don't want to be stranded. Love Brent and all that, but I've got things to do today. So just letting y'all know what it is about all of that.
I love the snow too much, man.
I like when I'm at home.
Oh, and you can just see outside?
Yeah, and I'm just in bed and I'm like cozy.
Yeah, no, I hear it.
That's a bit of me.
But then you waste a lot of money on gas bills. Keep them warm.
Yeah, but then I like warmth though.
True.
Like I'm literally that girl who, throughout the year, I'm warming it up.
Obviously, I know we're about to go into the headlines and whatnot. But I started listening to that debate yesterday, Brent. That you were talking about yesterday.
In have you got?
Got to pause that, but probably about. I was joking.
You're not joking. You meant that.
Just
Yeah, that was a good one though. But still.
Sorry.
I'm actually curious when it's going to
It's
be
not.
kind of like squeezed out of
It's not.
Stop that, man.
Black men.
the lexicon. I like it. I hear it all the time,
It's not going to be.
and it's as though when it's said, they don't realize that some people are tired of it.
I think what I find interesting is that some of them are gay.
Do you think so?
Yeah, they're on the low.
Do you wait? Do you actually believe that?
I 100% with all my heart
Really?
believe it.
Do you know what? It's probably true though. Some people.
And it's so funny that you're out here. What is that? You were saying pause last night?
No,
about pause.
that's diabolical.
It'd be silly.
I was watching. You can resume just now, right now. It's only because you mentioned, or Esther mentioned something. That I was like, I'm gonna forget this. I was watching a video yesterday, and this woman was basically talking about why certain locations have a build-up of a particular type of behavior, right? For example, Chicago has a lot of killings and whatnot, and you have Atlanta with a lot of LGBTQ stuff activity. This is what she's saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this. I've never been to these places, right? And she's basically saying it's because a whole set of demons are camped in and around that place, over that place.
As in demons in like the realm of demons.
Spiritual
Is it what? Oh, the spiritual
principalities
demons.
and powers, isn't it? So they've captured that area. They've said this is ours, right? And they're just perpetuating the same type of activity or behaviors in a particular area. And she believes Atlanta is full of gay demons.
Atlanta is, I've heard, this is not my words, this is what I've heard, that it's a very deviant place. Like,
I don't think you can have a gay demon though.
no, but a gay demon,
I
for
don't think-
sure.
What?
You can have any kind of demon you
No,
want.
as in the demons don't go and have sex with other demons. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
I think it's just a spirit of
Why do you think they came down to Earth?
homosexuality, innit?
But why do you think they came down to Earth? To have sex with the daughters of men?
So
They
you
were
believe
bored
that?
of themselves.
You believe that?
They were-
Because
of course I
Iman
do.
doesn't believe that.
But wait, were they?
They were bored of getting the same deals between each other. And they said, let's go downstairs. There's more. There's a wider pool down there.
I want to see the scripture.
Oh no, I made that up. I made that right
No,
up.
but it's funny you mentioned the whole spirit thing, yeah, because I think I'm around that place where the pastor basically says there's certain spirits and they can manifest in different ways. So basically, when you're doing other sin, like sleeping around or whatever it may be, as a heterosexual person, right? You're inviting certain spirits into your relationships, into you,
Yeah.
and that can then manifest as a gay, as gay, basically in your children, yeah. So that's basically what the guy that
guy
was
was saying.
Yeah.
Right. So, resume what you were saying, please. I cut you off.
Oh yeah. I was just saying that I started watching it. I'm only about 30 minutes into it, but it's good though, man.
How fast are you listening to it?
I only started listening on the way in. To be fair,
No, as in
so
speed.
about 175, I think.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like it seems like a good debate
Why is it good?
because no one there is an idiot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So everyone's got good points. You know what I'm saying? You think, oh, okay, the gay pastor got him there,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
the other guy's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
And he hits him back with a nice jab.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it is a good back and forth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But one of the things that jumped out to me was when he said to me, when he said to
Yeah,
basically
you
the
can say
panel,
that Freudian slip is good.
when he says basically that he doesn't see homosexuality as any more sin than heterosexuality. You know what I'm saying? Simply because to him, sin is basically missing the mark. And
Yeah,
because it's missing the mark, it may mean that you have a different mark
Yes.
to me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so what is a sin to you
Yes.
isn't a sin to me.
Yes.
Unless I'm not living my truth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
All right, fair.
it was just interesting how he brought that up as a point, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then obviously the guy comes back and says, "But where do you draw the line on this then?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then obviously he mentions the whole thing about being paedophile and things of that nature. But then obviously he comes back with our consenting adults. That needs to be like a prerequisite for anything that's I guess lawful in the eyes of God and all that sort of stuff. But
And the consented adult thing, did he read scripture for that?
no, that was just his thing.
Oh,
Exactly what I thought.
okay.
It's like you've obviously just kind of, at least from my perspective, just made up things to kind of buffer your point, innit? You know what I'm saying? And build a hedge around it. But again, the pastor who kind of sees homosexuality as a sin is coming with points. And he's
Yes.
basically saying you can't just say everything in the Old Testament is wrong, you know what I'm saying? Like or old and no longer valid when it says, for example, X, Y, and Z clearly. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah. Anyway, long story short, it was a good debate so far. Anyway.
All right, then. All right, party people. Good morning, everybody in the live chat box. Pew, 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 pew. Said it to all of you all. Let's get into the headlines.
All right, people. So our first set of headlines, this is according to Sky News, right? So they can reveal that up to 5 people, possibly including a politician, could face prosecution in the betting scandal over the date of the general election. So a source has told Sky News that the Gambling Commission is looking to prosecute at least 3 suspects, but possibly up to 5. This includes a politician and a close protection guard. It's understood that the commission is not yet at the point of making an announcement, and a spokesperson said that the commission would not comment on an ongoing investigation. A commission spokesperson was actually speaking to Sky News and said, "We clearly appreciate the level of public interest there is in this ongoing investigation, but to protect the integrity of the investigation and to ensure a fair and just outcome, we are unable to comment further at this time, including the name of any person who may be under suspicion or the total number of suspects." The investigation is into whether people placed bets on the 4th of July election as a result of inside knowledge in the days that were leading up to the then Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's shock announcement of an early poll on the 22nd of May. Next headline, and an extra £500 million of additional funding will be given to neighbourhood policing. This is what the Home Secretary is set to announce probably today. So Yvette Cooper, who's the Home Secretary, will also lay out plans for a new unit to improve the performances of police forces across the country to end the postcode lottery of how effectively crimes are dealt with. The Home Office said that the unit will directly monitor police performance in areas prioritised by the government, including tackling violence against women and girls and knife crime. The Home Secretary will make the announcement in her first major speech at the annual conference of the National Police Chiefs Council and Association of Police and Crime Commissioners today, on Tuesday. Ms. Cooper is expected to say public confidence in the bedrock is the bedrock of our British policing model, but in recent years it has been badly eroded as neighbourhood policing has been cut back and as outdated systems and structures have left the police struggling to keep up with a fast-changing criminal landscape. That's why we're determined to rebuild the neighbourhood policing to improve performance across police forces and also to ensure the highest standards are being upheld across the service. And our last headline, thousands of farmers from across the UK are expected to gather outside of Downing Street today in the biggest protest yet against the government's changes to inheritance tax rules. The reforms, which were announced in last month's budget, will mean that farms worth over £1 million will be subject to 20% inheritance tax from April 2026. Farmers say that this will lead to land being sold to pay the tax bill. It will also impact food security and also the future of British farming. The government insists that it is committed to the farming industry, but it has to make difficult decisions. Farmers from Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales and England will arrive in London to hear speeches from agricultural leaders. And Sky News understands that TV presenter and farm owner Jeremy Clarkson, the Conservative Party leader Kemi Badenoch and the Lib Dem leader Ed Davey will also be there to address the crowds. And then prosecutors will then march around Parliament Square. So we'll see what happens with that, man. keep you guys informed. But that's it for the first set of headlines.
All right, let's get into Word on Road. Firstly, before we get into more important news, so the rapper NBA YoungBoy, so basically he was involved in he pled guilty for some prescription drug fraud ring situation going on. So he pled guilty to, 2 counts of third-degree felony. Hold on, wait, what's this for? Yeah, 2 counts of third-degree felony identity fraud, 2 counts of third-degree felony forgery, and 6 counts of misdemeanor unlawful pharmacy conduct. Cut long story short, anyway, he pled guilty for these things. He was involved in some prescription drug ring situation in Utah and blah, 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 blah. But basically, the case has been dismissed and he won't be facing extra time. So he's currently serving 27 months anyway. I think that's to do with firearms and whatnot. So he wouldn't get more time for that, basically. This is what this. I don't even know who this guy is, if I'm being very honest with you. I've heard his name, but all these youngs and all these lils and I don't know them. But anyway, more importantly, so the other day, Fuse ODG. I like when I discover that people are doing work that I didn't think was being done behind the scenes. I just think it's absolutely amazing. I didn't know he was who pitched the year of return to Ghana to the government in 2019. I did not have a clue. Really good. But anyway, so basically he put a video out, and do you know that Band-Aid song about there's no Christmas in Africa and they don't even know it's African, or that racist foolishness? So basically, it's about that. So BBC have got a documentary that's going to be celebrating Band-Aid. And so Fuse is calling for that documentary, for BBC to not show that documentary, basically. And then he kind of just talks about that song and whatever, and he says how he was actually asked, I think in 2013 or something like that, to feature on the song, and he said he declined because he didn't agree with the lyrics and whatnot. So he's very happy in hindsight that he did that now. So he's calling for BBC not to show the documentary. Let me see, hold on.
Because I think I saw part of the clip, right? And I think the guy's trying to bring out the song again as well, right?
Yeah, so they've got a newer version of it, which apparently has Ed Sheeran's vocals on it, and he's saying, I'm not in support of all of that. But if I do have the video from Fuse, I thought it would be nice to play it so I don't, miss his words or misinterpret his words and stuff. But I need to know what it is that we can do, though. Can we sign a petition? Like, what can be done to actually get them not to play this foolishness? How long is it?
3 minutes, 20 seconds.
Is that too long a time to play?
I am going to
Speed it up.
Speed it up.
Word.
Yes, I don't know if you've heard, but Uncle Bob has decided to release another version of Band-Aid. They know it's Christmas, and I'm pissed because I thought he learned.
Bit too fast.
Did you want 2?
No, 1.5.
Oh, fair enough.
Yes, I don't know if you've heard, but Uncle Bob has decided to release another version of Band-Aid. They know it's Christmas, and I'm pissed because I thought he learned his lesson the last time. And today marks 10-year anniversary since I said no to being a part of Band-Aid. Because Band-Aid and initiatives like it over the past 40 years has cost the African continent trillions in lost revenue from stifling economic growth, investment, tourism, and more dangerously, destroying our collective dignity.
And what's worse is that the BBC are even doing a whole documentary to celebrate it.
Now, in hindsight, I'm so glad that I said no to being a part of Band-Aid, because I remember when they first launched the campaign, the first thing that they showed was a dead body of an African on national primetime TV, and I'm talking X Factor. I know they might have gained the public sympathy, and people might have donated their £2 a month, and they'd probably feel sorry for the continent and people in Africa, but they would never go there. They would never invest in the continent, missing opportunity to truly uplift and support the continent. I've been doing my bit over the years, standing on business and narrating our own stories, realigning how the world sees Africans and how Africans feel about themselves. Because it's very important that we take back our own narrative.
Now, these charities won't tell you this, but as you know, Band-Aid raised money for the Ebola crisis. But did you know
that the Ebola crisis was actually solved by an African from Congo called Dr. Jean-Jacques Muyembe? He wasn't even credited until 2019. His story was swept under the carpet. And that's why it's imperative that we tell our own story. And we've been doing that through an educational app that we've built called Sona that teaches African languages and it teaches Black history. Again, it's imperative that as Africans, we take back control of our narrative and our story. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but I launched the Year of Return with the Ghana government in 2019. It's an initiative that dispelled aid and encouraged trade by enabling people to be able to come and experience Ghana firsthand. So before the Year of Return in 2019, Ghana was giving out 45,000 visas. After the Year of Return, or during the Year of Return, they gave out 750,000 visas, generating 1.9 billion for the Ghana economy. And the biggest flow of funds going into the continent has not come from any charity, it hasn't come from band aid, nor any form of foreign aid. It's actually come from Africans in the diaspora. And I love that African-owned companies like Pay Angel are facilitating this vital flow of funds back into the continent. Do they know it's Christmas?
When the song comes out, because that's the song that he's got coming out soon, I believe. But if you play that, the whole stream might just go down.
Okay.
We haven't got time for that. But yeah, so big up Fuse for that. That is really, really. I never would have known this if you honestly didn't post it. But on his story, he also said, just kind of reiterating that, he said, 10 years ago, I refused to participate in Band Aid because I recognized the harm initiatives like it inflict on Africa. While they may generate sympathy and donations, they perpetuate. Perpetuate that, thank you. Damaging stereotypes that stifle Africa's economic growth, tourism and investment, ultimately costing the continent trillions and destroying its dignity, pride, and identity. By showcasing dehumanizing imagery, these initiatives fuel pity rather than partnership, discouraging meaningful engagement. My mission has been to reclaim the narrative, empowering Africans to tell their own stories, redefine their identity, and position Africa as a thriving hub for investment and tourism. Today, the diaspora drives the largest flow of funds back into the continent, not Band-Aid or foreign aid, proving that Africa's solutions and progress lies in its own hands. Word. And then Ed Sheeran screenshot that, posted on his story, and he said, my approval wasn't sought on this new Band-Aid 40 release, and had I had the choice, I would have respectfully declined the use of my vocals. A decade on, and my understanding of the narrative associated with this has changed, eloquently explained by Fuse. This is just my personal stance. I'm hoping it's a forward-looking one. Love to all. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it is that, if anything is done about it, if anything happens with that. But that song is wild. Very, very wild. Very, very wild song. Talking about, they don't know if it's Christmas. Is it going to snow? Is it going to this? Is it going to that? Very horrible, man. But people really buy into that. Like, I remember when I started school here, and some girl asked me if we lived in huts. I said, yeah. I said, I've got a pet elephant. I said, I've got a pet elephant. I said, when you walk on the streets, it's literally just like elephants and lions just chilling. Like, we just have them. Thinking, girl, get out of my face. But anyway, big up Fuse for that. That is really, really important work. And he deserves his flowers for that.
Were there any stereotypes you had of West Indians, Emmanuel?
It probably was, but I can't. Nothing comes to mind. To be fair. Ooh. I can't think of any.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure there probably was. Yeah.
How about you, Esther?
No, to be fair, mine, the only thing I ever heard was just about Jamaican men. How they don't stay around for the kids.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
All right.
But what age are you talking about? You talking about in our entire life, or you talking about as kids?
As children.
Okay. Yeah.
That means that you can pop your ish off and then you don't get blamed for it because
you haven't when you was a kid.
This is it.
Oh dear. But it is crazy though. But yeah.
All right.
Let's get into more headlines.
Okie dokie.
All right, people. So, our next set of headlines. The Kremlin has criticized President Joe Biden for adding fuel to the fire after giving Ukraine permission to launch US missiles into Russia. So, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told reporters it's obvious that the outgoing administration in Washington intends to continue adding fuel to the fire and provoking further escalation of tensions around this conflict. Russia's foreign ministry added that the action by Mr. Biden's administration would fundamentally alter the nature of the war and trigger an adequate and tangible response. The UK has refused to reveal if it plans to follow suit, for example, extending the use of British-supplied Storm Shadow missiles by Ukraine to hit targets inside Russia. The British Defence Secretary, John Healey, told the House of Commons commenting would compromise operations and security, adding that he will speak with the US and Ukrainian Defence Secretaries on Monday evening. And at the G20 summit in Brazil, Sir Keir Starmer gave a similar response. He said, I'm not going to get into operational details because the only winner, if we were to do that, is Vladimir Putin, and I'm not prepared to do that. For over a year, Ukraine has been calling on America to change its policy on the use of long-range missiles. I want to ask you guys this quickly. Yeah? Why do you think Biden is allowing this now? So he's been in there, obviously, for 4 years, right? Mm. And them and the UK have said, listen, don't use no long-range missiles to attack the inside of Russia. That will just escalate the war, innit? And now that obviously the man's out of there, or at least he's about to be gone in like a couple months, they've now changed the tactics. Are they trying to get I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Why you think now they're doing this?
Biden's not doing a damn thing.
First of all, yeah, that man ain't doing nothing but napping. Maybe he's trying to just, because I feel like when it comes to the end of a term, prime minister, president, whatever the case might be, they always try to like kind of leave an impact or something. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Maybe in his brain he thinks that this might actually be what ends the war, whatever. Like I don't know, but I feel like he's just trying to do something and hoping it will have good results. So then his entire presidency can be held by this one thing.
But then what does good results look like? Because
I don't know, but
they obviously want to have, they want to have the advantage over Russia in it. Mm-hmm. So to me, his good result would look like actually maybe going to war with Russia and winning, as opposed to backing down. Because obviously they don't want Ukraine to back down. Like, this is why everyone was kind of against Trump going into power, like getting into power. So that means he's trying to escalate the war, basically, because you want Putin to react so that Trump can't say to Putin, end the war. Because Putin's obviously saying, if you do this, I'm going to use like proper real force. I'm going to attack like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Putin has threatened for a couple of years now, innit, to do certain things, and he hasn't done anything yet. But I don't know. I feel like they're just pushing this guy.
But then maybe they're trying to instigate a war, because obviously all these countries have come together now. Now they're not on Russia's side. So maybe they're trying to instigate a war so that they can take down Russia, and it can be a thing of we won.
Yeah, exactly.
But then that would be his legacy.
Yeah, but that war, 100%. But that war won't. It's not like it would end in his time.
Yeah, but we'll always remember who was that who instigated it for it to start. Because he ain't got enough time to win a war between now and January 20th.
So many people are gonna die because of this, man.
That's the thing. But our uncle is old anyway. Who knows, child?
But we gonna say that?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So our next headline, UNRWA, which is the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, have said that a convoy of 109 UN aid lorries carrying food was violently looted in Gaza on Saturday. 97 of the lorries were lost, and their drivers were forced at gunpoint to unload their aid after passing through the Israeli-controlled Kerem Shalom crossing with southern Gaza. Eyewitnesses said that the convoy was attacked by masked men who threw grenades. And UNRWA Commissioner General Philippe Lazzarini said that they did not identify the perpetrators, but that he said that the total breakdown of civil order in Gaza meant it had become an impossible environment to operate in. Without immediate intervention, severe food strategies are set to worsen for the 2 million people who are depending on humanitarian aid to survive. A UN-backed assessment warned earlier this month that there was a strong likelihood that famine is imminent in the areas within the northern Gaza Strip. And our last headline, a Hong Kong court has sentenced key pro-democracy leaders to years in jail for subversion following a controversial national security trial. Benny Tai and Joshua Wong were among the so-called Hong Kong 47 group of activists and lawmakers who were involved in a plan to pick opposition candidates for local elections. Tai received 10 years, while Wong received more than 4 years. Most of the group were found guilty of conspiring to attempt subversion, while 2 of them were acquitted. Their trial marked the largest use of the harsh national security law, the NSL, which China imposed on Hong Kong shortly after the city's explosive pro-democracy protests back in 2019. Those demonstrations saw hundreds of thousands taken to the streets of Hong Kong for months, triggered by a proposed government treaty that would have allowed extradition from Hong Kong to mainland China. The protests quickly grew to reflect wider demands for democratic reform. Observers say that the NSL and the trial's outcome have significantly weakened the city's pro-democracy movement and rule of law, and also allowed China to cement control of the city. The US has described the trial as politically motivated. Australia said it has strong objections to the use of the NSL, and it was gravely concerned by the sentencing of one of its citizens, Gordon Ng. Hope I pronounced that correctly. But yes, that is it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills.
Right, we're getting to People's Journal.
Yes. All right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. So the first thing I want to talk about is, again, more people are criticizing the budget, man. Of course, it's early days. The budget was just last month, less than a month ago, and obviously people are, trying to get used to Rachel Reeves' decision to cut certain things and increase certain things. And by the moment, a lot of high street retailers are basically saying that job losses are going to be inevitable. They're saying that prices will rise. They're saying that shops will close, all because of these increases in taxes in the budget and other rising costs as well. So basically, a group of the biggest retailers in the UK have come out and they're basically warning and basically saying, listen, you need to reconsider some of these measures. Some of these companies are Tesco, Amazon, Greggs, Next, and basically there's like dozens of other chains as well who are pretty much coming together and they're urging the Treasury to reconsider some of these decisions that they made. So they've written a letter to the Chancellor and they basically said that that the cumulative burden of the budget changes and also the policies that are already in the pipeline could add up to £7 billion in costs to the retail industry next year. £7 billion that will be lost because of these decisions, right? At least from their perspective, anyway. A Treasury spokesperson said that the government had to make difficult decisions, difficult choices to fix the foundation of the country, and so obviously they just had to do what they had to do in it. But a lot of these concerns, obviously, are being disseminated into the public sphere in it. And the loudest amongst these people are basically the retailers and those in the hospitality business sector, where I guess a lot of people are basically saying for the young people who are finding their first jobs, it's going to be an issue for them going forward. One of the biggest things that makes it issues is one of the things that I basically spoke about when we were laying out the budget, that I think is one of the worst things anyway. One to me anyway, I think is one of the biggest deceptive things anyway, especially when the Labour government has been talking about how everyone's pay packet will be the same. When they're talking about there will be no increase in national insurance, the VAT, to income tax, everything will be the same. Highly deceptive, right? Again, just to remind everyone, from next April, all large businesses will have to pay higher national insurance contributions, right, for every member of staff that they employ. So there's going to be a much lower threshold at which they start to pay these contributions. Before it was 9,100. Now it's gone down to 5,000. So from 5,000, everyone's going to start paying all of these businesses, right? Not only that, but the rate at which they pay will have increased as well. Before it was 13.8%. Now it's going to be 15%. And basically, what they're saying is, essentially, this will cost British retailers £2.33 billion a year. That's the amount of money that's not going into the workforce. You know what I'm saying? So obviously they're gonna always try and claw this money back in it. And how are they gonna do it? By sacking people and basically employing less people. You know what I'm saying? And basically giving people a poorer service so that they can somewhat maintain their profit margins, or keep it at a decent level and whatnot. But yeah, that's one of the things that's happening right now. The next thing I wanted to mention is something that we spoke about in the headlines already, and that's basically the NFU, the National Farmers Union, who have come together and basically accused the government of betrayal. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously thousands of them are pretty much coming together for this rally to campaign against these changes to inheritance tax, rules for all these farms. Again, like I mentioned in the headlines, the recent budget announcement means that the previously exempt farms, right, that are worth more than £1 million are now going to have to pay 20% in inheritance tax, which is half the usual rate of 40% from April 2026, right? But again, all of them are just not prepared for this. And like a lot of them have said, they're going to have to sell up property now in order to pay these taxes. And you've got other people coming out talking about, we actually need to be concerned for the mental health of these farmers now that they're having to face these large tax bills. And also think about the long-term effects. You know what I mean? Like, this country relies heavily on what the farmers produce. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Next thing I wanted to mention is there's a popular weight loss drug called Wegovy, and it's about to go on sale in China. I want to ask you guys, yeah. Obviously, none of you people are overweight in it. But if you were...
I would.
Serious? Mm-hmm. Would you not think of the long-term effects and feel like maybe it could affect your heart, it could do something else, it could grow a tail?
Obviously. Grow a tail?
You don't know.
No, of course, I would. I definitely would. I would. But if there was no like crazy effects, if there was no bad effects, I would use it.
Okay.
Just give me a little boost. Listen, I get myself.
But you don't know about the effects though until you use it.
No, I do have that little leaflet inside. But sometimes, listen, you gotta think about, what if I'm not even around to feel the side effects? Please.
But that might be because
speed it up. No, I would, man. But I feel like there is a healthy balance, though. To be fair, I don't know. There's a lot of things I would do. Like I'd get like hair cosmetic surgery if I wanted to, or whatever. But I just think you have to not feed into certain things. You have to not feed into. But I'm speaking from a place of privilege. I was born with a bum, so of course I feel like that. But I see why sometimes people want to enhance certain things about them. But also society want to make them insecure about these things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that is true. That is true. That's
yeah, I'll try it.
Okay. Brent, what about yourself?
Would I take weight loss drugs?
Yeah.
No.
Why not? If you was overweight?
If I was overweight? I think I've never been, but maybe I'd try anything.
I mean, you try it. All them fat jokes you make about Gina, I think she bully you back.
I don't make fat jokes.
What is it, fat truths?
Funny, huh, Esther? Eat your mango.
Oh, do you know what?
Is it mango?
It is mango.
Is it nice?
Brent?
Oh, delicious.
I'm
Best ever.
I went to Tesco, right? Because I love mangoes, right? I'm a mango expert, really and truly. I just don't, blow my horn or whatever. Anyway, I went to Tesco yesterday, and they were all like, like how you have it back home where it's red and vibrant and just beautiful.
Yeah.
Full of colour.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. But I got two, because you never know England. You never know. It might be a trick. I open it up, and it's like, it might as well be dark green.
Yeah.
Had one for lunch. It was so nice. After yoga last night, I had to go and get some more. Because I thought, this is really nice. Because I know the next batch they're going to bring out is going to be dead. So I feel like this is my last mangoes of the year. Till I go to Nigeria, maybe, if it's mango season there. But because that's another thing. Back home, fruits are by season. Here, it don't matter. Obviously, they say they're importing it, but are you? Just injecting in the shed. Let me silly. Anyway.
In the shed,
Listen, in the back.
But that's why you get crap grapes sometimes.
Very crap grapes. These grapes I'm eating here. I've got grapes here. And honestly, I'm forcing myself to eat them. These are not. They're not giving. They're not giving. But we're here now.
All right.
Mango slaps.
All right. So, obviously, I mentioned all of that just to say.
Would you ever use actually?
Nah, I don't think so.
Even if you're really, really overweight.
I think, to be fair, if I was affect my life, I couldn't walk for more than.
Yeah, you see
10
those
minutes.
those shows.
Yeah.
What was that channel called? And they had those kind of shows. Big up the people though. One thing I never like about people that what society does is Nelly Walker said big up. One thing I don't know that society does is like when you get like overweight people in the gym, people judge them and stuff. It makes no sense to me. They're in the gym trying to do something about it, and then you're judging them for being overweight, but they're in the gym.
Yeah.
Where's the sense?
Yeah, it's not right, man.
And weight them anyway. They have better discipline than you anyway. So. But yeah.
But yes, well, this is what's happening, and it seems like obviously this is going to be more of a popular, more of a more common phenomenon, I guess, isn't it? So yeah, it's going on sale in China, man. More than 180 million people live with obesity in China.
Really?
180 million
Don't give me
people.
that vibe.
Yeah, that's because there's 1.4 billion of them. So that's only like what?
I've never seen a
Just
fat
over
Chinese
10%.
person.
Yeah. I don't know what they do. Maybe they're indoors, isn't it?
Where are they? I've never seen a fat Chinese person.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know, but only the sumo wrestlers and that, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're there.
Interesting.
180 million of them. That's like what? 3
Bruh.
times the population of this country, you know?
That's crazy.
That's insane. But yeah, that's what they're doing over there. And I guess obviously they're gonna have some buyers, man. The next thing I wanted to mention, well, the last thing I wanted to mention really is that according to the BBC, they're saying that homeowners who have spray foam insulation are struggling to sell or remortgage their properties. Why? Because the major lenders are rejecting properties that are fitted with this sort of insulation. So guys, when you're going out there to buy your properties and whatnot, be mindful of that long term, innit? Obviously, you're gonna have to do your normal due diligence and get surveyors and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this is what they're saying, innit? For those who already have these properties, they're struggling to sell it, and you can't remortgage them as well. So you may need to sort that out first if you're in that position already. But if you're trying to get a house, be mindful of that, innit? Don't skate over it. Apparently, a quarter of the UK's biggest mortgage providers are basically amongst those people who are not lending against homes with spray foam in their roof and things of that nature. But that is pretty much the end of the People's Journal, man. So it's been a while since we've had a Walker joke.
Oh, let's have one.
Let's do it.
Oh, sister.
All right, people. So, as usual, right? I'm gonna ask you guys what you think is the joke, what's woke, you know what I'm saying, and see where you think this world is basically going, right? So,
The hell.
so obviously, new technology, it almost seems though anything's possible, right? I'm gonna ask you guys which of these is possible. What company or what idea do you feel is a real tangible idea that is actually going to be implemented very soon? Yeah. 2. So number 1, people are going to be allowed to how do I put this, hire or buy temporarily wild animals. So basically there's certain wild animals that live in certain wild animals.
You know how Nigerians have bushrat?
There you go. So certain wild animals, right? So it
What's
could
a
be
wild animal though? Like a
so it could
lion?
be a tiger, it could be a lion.
Didn't Mike Tyson already do that?
No, but this is going to be for the common man.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, in this world I'm living in.
But is this a real phenomenon? Do you feel like this is going to be something that happens from next year?
Yeah.
Right? So that's done. That's the first one, yeah?
Okay.
People are going to be
But I hope you
able...
listen.
I just put my phone down, go on.
Okay, so the first one,
I knew
right?
it. I just knew it.
The first one is...
Doing TNB business, by the way.
Okay.
Don't throw TNB in there if you get sympathy. You're on TDA right now.
God
Talking about
damn it.
TNB business. Stephen, he's busy.
But yeah, the first thing is you're going to be able to basically hire or buy pets, wild animals as pets. So if you wanted to get an elephant, if you got the space for it, so there's going to be certain requirements. You need to have a certain amount of land, for example.
Yeah.
And they will deliver an elephant to your house, right? Obviously, previously, this is not allowed, right? Tigers, lions, and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be a service that allows for this particular thing, right? From next year. The second thing is you're going to be able to add years onto your life. Now, obviously, this sounds crazy, but I'll tell you how it works. Essentially, if you were somebody who was going to die, I don't know, 75 years old, you can buy on extra life of prosperity. So it kind of works like an insurance thing, right?
Okay.
But essentially, everything that you kind of did, right, up until at a certain time in your life, will be allowed to be lived by somebody in your life, in your place. All right, so let's just say you're somebody who... let's just say you're somebody who was a footballer, for example.
Okay, yeah.
And you wanted to continue your career. Yeah. You're basically allowed to. I'm not too sure if you could do it. If it's only if you die, right?
Okay.
It might be whilst you're alive, right? But basically, somebody by paying this money,
Yeah.
they'll basically allow somebody of your choosing to live part of the life, a chapter in your life for a certain amount of time. So almost like you're living vicariously through them. Does that make sense? Brent, you get what I'm saying?
Are you saying that you can spend a year or however many months
Yeah.
or whatever in somebody else's life, in
Yes.
somebody else's shoes?
Essentially, exactly.
So you do their lifestyle,
Yeah,
you
that's
have
basically
sex
what
with their
happened.
wives.
That Freaky Friday.
Yeah, but it's more so. It's not necessarily like you buying.
Sorry, I don't know why you want to have sex with people's wives.
Yeah, it's not that stuff.
I don't know why that was where you went with.
Oh, so it's not the total package.
No, it's
Sicko.
it's more so that person wanting to live certain parts of their life. So, for example, let's just say
Is this different to the person where you can add years to your life?
no, same thing. It's just how the years of life manifests.
Because you can add years to your life,
Yeah.
and in the years you add,
Yeah.
you can live it as somebody else.
No, you're living it as the best time of your own life, essentially.
Okay.
So if you was a footballer, you'd
Yeah.
basically be able to live the life of a footballer in retirement.
Oh, while in your prime.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
That sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And the next thing is you can basically order light. So basically, it sounds crazy.
Nigerians do that, man.
This
You
is
pay
true.
NEPA. What do you think you're paying for?
But this is direct light. So this is basically the sun. So you'll be able to order parts of the sun. So sunlight, say right now, right? No, let's just say it was, I don't know, 10 p.m. You can order a service to bring the sunlight to you.
But how do they get the sunlight?
I can tell you about that after, if that is true.
How are you getting Uber Eats sunlight? That's so wild.
But that's basically what it is. So I'll go through it quickly, yeah? You can order wild animals
Yeah.
as pets temporarily. I mean, if you've got the money, then I guess it'll just keep going. You can order years onto your life, and you can order sunlight.
So which one is? So is
Which one or ones is
Are
real?
jokes?
Yeah, or jokes, yeah. Or are they all jokes?
I think ordering sunlight is a joke,
Okay.
and if they do that, it's gonna be a scam. Maybe like it might be ordering a solar panel, maybe. Because when you can't get too close to the sun, you burn. So how will you bring the sun to me in the comfort of my living room? That's gotta be a joke. I think that adding years to your life sounds like a good scam that could run. But obviously the people will die, so they'll never be able to see you unless the family members know. I can imagine the wild animals one, but then I'm like, I'm trying to save the forest and all that stuff. No. I'm gonna think. Let Brent.
Brent, what are you thinking?
I think you can purchase wild animals
Okay.
because I could see it happening in Dubai.
True.
I think you can actually live somebody's life for a while. That's not difficult.
But it's more so about
It's adding life.
Yeah, it's more so your own life, innit?
I didn't understand your description.
So more
then.
so I guess it's more so if you were, maybe a better example is, let's just say you was retired, right? You can potentially go back to that particular place where you used to work, right? Yeah, you know what, see it this way, kind of like the Truman Show, right? In a sense where things are kind of made for you. So for example, let's just say you used to work in a particular place. There's a certain insurance policy, a certain policy where you're buying years of your life, so the best years of your life. So they will put something in place to basically have your own office again. So you go to work, you would live like you did when you was 50 years old, as a CEO, whatever, in that particular office, in that building,
In that company.
So obviously this would be crazy
You get
amount of money. I mean, no, you wouldn't get paid,
So
but it would work like that. Essentially, you'd get a pay slip, but remember, you're paying for the service.
Oh yeah, so you basically just get to go back in time to relive
There you go.
a moment of your life.
Exactly. So that's why they say
Scam.
it's kind of like you're extending your life. You know what I mean?
I remember watching a movie where there was a package you could buy and they would deliver some sort of lifestyle and everybody was in on it. I can't remember what it was and what the end was. I don't know if it was a fair type thing or I don't know. I remember. But I think that's possible. I mean, that type of experience can be curated.
Okay.
So it's not like weird for me. When I read the title, it sounded like what, are you trying to extend your life, or how are you adding years onto your life? Doesn't make sense. But now that you described it, yep, I think that's possible. And the third one, I also think that's possible. I think I remember the startup trying to sell sunlight some time ago. So all three is possible or plausible in my head.
Okay. Well, I'll put a link in there. If you don't mind playing, that's going to give you the answer.
A link in where?
In the doc, where it says Woke Joke.
Where is that?
Human beings are so jobless sometimes.
Okay, got it.
Oh, my.
Come on.
Oh, no. I'll tell you when it's playing.
Of a company who will be delivering sunlight during the dark. Can't believe this is actually real. So this is a company based in California.
Huh?
So can you play the video but mute us, our mics, please?
All right, okay.
Thank you. And then leave the camera on me as well.
Yes.
Will be orbiting the Earth with mirrors on it. Through these mirrors, the sun will reflect, and wherever you order the sunlight through their app, that's where you'll get it. As crazy as it sounds, they just finished their last on-Earth test where they did it with a hot air balloon. So now they're going to space, and you can apply to order sun starting in the fourth quarter of 2025. You are currently watching footage of a company who will be delivering sunlight during the dark. Can't believe this is actually real. So this is a company based in California, and they're gonna have satellites that will be orbiting the Earth with mirrors on it. Through these mirrors, the sun will reflect, and wherever you order the sunlight through their app, that's where you'll get it. As crazy as it sounds, they just finished their last on-Earth test where they did it with a hot air balloon. So now they're going to space, and you can apply to order sun starting in the fourth quarter of 2025. You are
You're back on.
If it looks like when the guy was in that room, that's like a spotlight.
That's a large spotlight.
Yeah. But they might be able to concentrate it.
You can't turn off that. I don't think that'll warm you up.
You never know, though.
That's smart. No, but if it's a reflection of it, it won't warm you up. All you're getting is the light, sunlight. They didn't say it come with warmth.
That's true. That's true. But yeah,
Okay, that's interesting.
that's what they're saying, man. Next year. But yes,
Interesting.
the other ones are all made up.
So the one about adding lives, well, yeah, that was obvious. You
Yeah.
couldn't even get your scenario right. and then the first one was,
The pets.
yeah, no one's trying to do that. Imagine my neighbor just ordering a tiger. Now I'm living next to tiger. That's just so silly. That would stress me out.
You never know. You never
Barely
know.
keeping up with the dogs.
But you know that additional life thing? I see
Yeah.
that as something that's definitely possible, you know. But I think it would just be lived by, obviously, the super rich.
But
To
then
give
the
them a
super
sense
rich
of
are.
purpose.
But then don't people work so you can get to a point where you don't have to work anymore and just enjoy life?
Yeah, but they often say when you get to a certain life, sorry, a certain time in your life, this is why you kind of end up dying, because you don't have...
You're bored.
Yeah, you don't have a job, you don't have no purpose. What's his name
They
saying
make
that?
me-
Alex Ferguson, when he first retired, he said, I remember when my dad retired, shortly after, man died. So I just wanted to keep being a manager of Man United. And after that, just wanted to have a role in the club, you know what I mean, doing something. So, yeah.
Right.
But anywho, guys, that's it
Anywho.
for Walk of Joke.
Should we get into Word on Road? No, what's it called? What are you saying?
Headlines.
Headlines. Oh, yeah, headlines.
Got more headlines.
Maybe tell her quickly so she can,
Your turn.
yeah.
All right. All right, people. So an Australian gold mining company has agreed to pay $160 million to Mali's government after the West African country's junta detained its chief executive and 2 other employees. So Resolute Mining's chief executive, Terence Holohan, and the other 2 employees were detained on the 8th of November in Mali's capital, Bamako, at the end of a meeting with government officials over tax and the other state claims that the miner had previously said were unsubstantiated. So Resolute, which is headquartered in Perth, said in a stock market announcement on Monday that it had already paid Mali $80 million, with the money coming out of its $157 million cash reserves, and would pay another $80 million in the coming months. The statement said an agreement with the government provides that all outstanding claims by the government against the company, including those related to tax, customs, levies, maintenance and management of offshore accounts, are settled. Resolute said it was working with the government on the remaining procedural steps to secure the release of Holohan and the 2 other employees. All 3 are British citizens. Next headline, just a trigger warning on this one, guys. Trigger warning. And almost 60% of South Sudan's population will be acutely food insecure next year, with more than 2 million children at risk of malnutrition. This has been warned from the United Nations. The latest Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, IPC, a review published on Monday estimated that starting in April, 57% of the population will be suffering from acute food insecurity, which the UN defines as when a person's inability to consume adequate food puts their lives or livelihoods in immediate danger. Almost 7.7 million people will be classed as acutely food insecure, according to the IPC, which is an increase of 7.1 million people the previous lean season. And our last headline, trigger warning on this one as well. And a Wyoming judge has struck down the state's overall ban on abortion and its first in the country explicit prohibition on the use of medication to end pregnancy, in line with voters in further states voicing support for abortion rights. Teton County District Judge Melissa Owens has ruled 3 times since 2022 to block the laws while they were disputed in court. The decision on Monday marks another victory for abortion rights advocates after voters in 7 states passed measures in support of access. One of the Wyoming laws that Owens said violated women's rights under the state constitution bans abortion except to protect a pregnant woman's life or in cases involving rape and incest. The other made Wyoming the only state to explicitly ban abortion pills, though other states have instituted de facto bans on the medication by broadly prohibiting abortion. The laws were challenged by 4 women, 2 of whom are obstetricians, as well as 2 non-profit organizations. One of the groups, Wellspring Health Access, opened as the state's first full-service abortion clinic in years. In years, basically, back in April of last year, after an arson attack in 2022. And that's it for our headlines. Time to pay them bills. Let's quickly go into the reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video of the African man that's reading the sports? And I think he's Ghanaian and he doesn't know how to pronounce any of the. I don't know his name, and he has a suit on.
Mm-hmm.
He's like what's the other man's name? Stephen something?
Stephen A. Smith?
Stephen A.
Yeah, he looks like the African version of him. Do you know what video I'm talking about, Brent?
Yeah, Gina's uncle.
Yeah?
Gina's uncle.
Yeah, that's what women in sports gives me. When I watched him, I've never seen the man. Well, I've seen him, I just never clicked on the video. Then I watched it the other day, I said, sounds familiar. Sounds like me. All right, so these are the scores for yesterday. Bulgaria. Bulgaria and Belarus scored, drew 1. Portugal and Croatia drew 1. Kosovo beat Lithuania 1-0. San Marino beat Liechtenstein 3-1. Northern Ireland and Luxembourg drew 2. Scotland beat Poland 2-1. Romania beat Cyprus 4-1. Serbia and Denmark wasted each other's time. No one scored a damn thing. And Spain beat Switzerland 3-2. Oh, that was it.
That's pretty much it. I didn't want to ask you, Brent, you know this whole Nations League thing, yeah?
I must say, what does it take them? What do they do with this?
This is exactly what I was going to say to him. Like, what's the point? And
What's the end game?
Yeah, do you like it?
Do I like it? No, I don't, because it
Serbia.
breaks up the Premier League scheduling. and
Oh, is it?
players get injured and whatnot. So no, I don't like internationals until it's an official tournament, innit?
So what does the internationals like? What does it take them? Because like with the African ones,
You have to qualify for the actual next major tournament. So these are qualifiers, kind of.
but that's not the Premier ones.
No, it's international.
What's the next? What are they trying to qualify for?
I
What's that
think
one
the
called?
next one is, what did we have last? Is it the next one is the World Cup? Did we have Euros last time, or was it? Was it World Cup or Euros? I can't
We had
remember
World
which
Cup
one
last
it was.
time, so
Then
we got Euros
next one's
next.
Euros next.
Okay, fair enough then. Okay, fair. I thought this was just for team morale and stuff, so they don't feel left out.
No.
Is this how they get recruited for major teams? So
What
if
do
you
you
play
mean?
very well for Serbia,
Mm.
could Manchester probably be like, oh,
Well, you are put on display to the
Yeah.
world. So there are people who are, I guess, identified for the first time, I guess, if they do well.
okay,
Yeah.
oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
All right, fair. Well, that's about it. Did they mean to show Fingy's bum the other day?
Who, Tyson?
Yeah.
No, I think that was part of the
That was the outfit?
marketing.
What you feel that's part of the entertainment?
I think that's part of the marketing. Yeah.
He
Because
really went low for the cash, didn't he? Damn.
you walking around with your bum out like that.
It was a nice bum, to be fair. It was very toned.
Yeah.
If nothing else. It's a nice, nice booty.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how's things? How
Yeah,
are
things
things?
are good. Things are good. I went back to the gym for the first time in a while.
Oh, did you?
The other
Okay.
day. Yeah.
You got good muscle memory, though.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. It's like a day, and then stuff starts. Like,
That's me as well, you
coming
know.
back
I love it so
immediately.
much.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go again today. I have a couple meetings, and I'll probably go afternoon and come back for evening sessions.
Okay. Sounds great. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I cooked a pilau.
What's a pilau?
It's a
Pilau rice?
one pot rice.
Oh, is that?
Rice, peas.
Is it yellow in colour?
Vegetables. No. And whatever protein you want. But at this time I put chicken and prawns in it. Not prawns, but shrimps.
Nice.
Didn't really taste the shrimp. I mean, I just taste the texture of the shrimp, but everything else tastes like chicken. It's just like chicken. So,
I didn't want to laugh too soon. I didn't know where you were going with that.
yeah.
Fair enough. I hear it.
All right. Should we get into our topic of the day?
Yes, please.
Right. That's because she clocked the marks.
All right,
She
people.
beating them charges, bro.
All right, people.
She
So, all
trying.
right. So today's topic of the day, yeah, it's a bit of a heavy one. We ain't gonna spend too much time on it.
I
we
beg
put-
you, stop saying that, please.
What? No, we won't though. It's true.
No, but you always say that for everything.
No, I don't.
You do.
That was in the past.
No, it's present. You just did it.
All right.
Before 2 minutes
Anyway, so today's topic of the day, yeah, like I said, it is a bit of a heavy one, but let's touch on it, and we may bring it up again when probably there's more people in the room in it, or depending on what you guys say.
Just a heads up, we have changed the topic of the day, people.
We
Please
have
do not
changed
think
the
that
topic
we
of the
are
day.
now going to be talking about what the title suggested. We have changed it. Change of plans, change of plans, change of plans.
Yes.
The new topic is at the bottom on the ticker. Scrolling.
All right. Basically, so this is
No
this.
idea what's going on here.
So firstly, trigger warning. But if you don't mind, you put the trigger warning banner up as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to also change that.
Change what?
I've been thinking of a different way to basically put this up a bit more
Okay.
engaging, but I'll probably debut it next Monday.
Okay.
Not next Monday, but Monday coming. I'll spend the weekend doing it. God willing. Amen
Nice.
and amen.
What, the trigger one?
Yes.
How fancy do you want confetti? What,
No,
what
but
do you want?
I want it to be more evident for those watching. But because this is just a little triangle, yeah?
Oh.
It's just rubbish.
All
Option
right.
value growing up. Don't worry.
Well, so I'm not too sure if you guys heard, right? But the MPs are meant to be voting on a bill, right? And this bill basically is
Is it the suicide one?
yes.
My church has been talking about it for a month now.
Really?
Yeah. I told you we care about social issues in that place.
That's interesting. Like, what are it? So, are we going to get into this so that Esther could tell
Yes.
us what a church?
100%.
All right, cool.
I mean, we can start there. Let's get the holy version first.
Do I have it in my car?
Opinion.
I have it in my car. Should I get it out quickly? There's a little leaflet
Yes.
that the guy made. Hold on.
Instead of
All right.
Encouraging us to write to our MPs, innit? Let me get it for you. Let me get
Okay.
a prototype.
instead of Esther's pastor to talk about
is
can
my
you be
pastor,
gay and
right?
holy? What?
Being gay and holy.
Can you go and get your stuff, please? You little pamphlet. There's Tasha in the Discord. If Tasha wants to join us on stage, she can.
Okay. Big up, Tasha.
I think it's the first time I've seen her name just pop up there. But all right then.
But yeah, man, it's an interesting one, man. Yeah, and obviously we're going to get into more information about it, right? But MPs are going to be voting on this particular bill for the first time at the end of the month. So in 10 days' time, on the 29th of November, they're going to be voting about what should happen, right? I've noticed that obviously Keir Starmer and I believe another person in the Labour Party has basically said, I'm not touching it, sort of thing, innit? Let's let the MPs decide. Right, so that's basically that's basically what the situation is now, right? And so this proposed law is to basically give terminally ill people in England and Wales the right to choose to end their lives, right? So that's basically what they're going to be voting on. So yes.
It says, assist us to live, not to die. So you know what side my church is on?
But how does that work though? Like, surely that would just be for the people who don't want to die anyway. Are they just asking for more support?
No, because basically they say it, because you know, like, so basically if you give someone a diagnosis, for example, so like that's actually why the woman gave that testimony that I said about yesterday, when she said that she was diagnosed with cancer 17 years ago, and they basically said to her that hasn't got long to live, and she said, my life is in God's hands, not yours. And she's 17 years later, she's alive. But someone like that, if you tell them that you haven't got that long to live,
Yeah.
she could have just said, okay, well,
it's true.
take me out.
Yeah, that's true.
But who knows? 17 years later, she might. Because I think what it is as well, I don't really trust things that governments want to do, generally, because they will always find ways to abuse it. And I feel like that's the issue, because when you got someone that's feeling low and down about their situation, if they're ill or whatever, and you put this option in their ear, they might just feel like it's the easier way to take out. Do you get what I mean? But it doesn't have to be that. And if you're kind of catching people in their most vulnerable moments and you're giving them this option, that's not nice. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yes.
yeah. Because some people as well, when it is that they're ill like that, it's not that they want to die. It's just they think about their family and whatever. And their family will be like, well, because I think the guy, it's not my pastor that's been talking about it, one of the elders in the church. But he was talking about someone that he knows where, I think it's his family. It's his family. But I feel like a cousin or something. And their parent basically chose to do that. But then they kept saying to the parent, you're not a burden. So the parent didn't do it because they wanted to. It was that this option's available and I don't want to be a burden to you guys. And they were like, honestly, it's fine. But didn't listen. And, well,
Gone.
exactly. So it is more that of, I feel like they'll just find ways to abuse it. Especially when, obviously, we know like how the NHS is suffering all the time. People are now, we read it yesterday, one of the headlines, people are being treated in the hallways and all that kind of stuff. You don't think it's easy to just kill them?
Yeah.
So,
Well, let me lay out what the present situation is, right? So at present, laws throughout the UK prevent people from asking for medical help to die. So you can't do it, right?
yeah.
The Labour MP Kim Leadbeater, she's introduced a terminally ill adults end of life bill, and that could basically change the legal position in England and in Wales, right? And this particular bill says that anyone who wants to end their life must meet these criteria, right?
Yeah.
You have to be over 18. You have to live in
18 or 80?
18.
1/8.
Yeah. be over 18 and live in England and Wales and have been registered with the GP for at least 12 months, right? You need to have the mental capacity to make the choice and be deemed to have expressed a clear, settled and informed wish, free from coercion, free from pressure. So they have to assess that, right? Also, you have to be expected to die within 6 months. So it's one of those things. So doctors will have to basically say, you ain't got, you know what I mean? 6 months, you're going to be out of it anyway. Yeah. Also, you have to be able to make 2 separate declarations, witnessed and signed, basically about their wish to die. Yeah. And also, you've got to satisfy 2 independent doctors that they are eligible, right? So with at least 7 days between each doctor's assessment. So that's basically what she's basically saying. Again, it's illegal right now. No laws allow you to do that. But she's basically saying, look, this is the bill that we want to bring into society.
Yeah.
But this is the criteria. Based on that criteria, though, do you feel like that's okay? Because 6 months, again, you could be wrong. The doctor could be wrong.
Yeah, man.
They're wrong all the time, right?
That's the thing. I don't know, man. I think if you give people the option to do things, they will want to do. They'd want to do it.
Yep.
I don't know. Obviously, I'm a Christian anyway, so my stance, I believe that God is the one who creates life, and God is the one who says when our time is up. And I just think I've heard many stories of people who were given a death sentence, and their lives, but they went on to be great people. Like their illness or whatever gave them that new purpose, and they use that to encourage a bunch of other, like, thousands of people, millions of people. Like, do you get what I mean? So it could just, your story could go either way. And I just feel like if you give people that option, it's an quote unquote easier option to make, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying I'm for people suffering, but I just think that it can be abused. It can be abused by authorities, but it can also be abused by the by patients and stuff. It can be, yeah.
But do you feel like how much autonomy should we have as human beings? If somebody wants to end their life, is it not theirs to end it?
You're asking the wrong person. I don't believe our lives are our own.
Okay.
Like nothing of my life is my own. I don't have that. I don't have that belief or mindset. So I don't believe that I'm the one able to take my life. But however, though, even when it comes to trigger warning. When it comes to like suicide and stuff like that, I can understand. I don't understand. I can empathize with why people feel that way. So I can empathize with someone who doesn't want to live anymore. I can empathize. You always been in pain, and you've gone from living an independent life, and all of a sudden now you can't help yourself. You have to depend on people. Like, I can understand that, and I can understand that. I can empathize with it. I don't know what the way around it would be.
If we're living in a more and more secular world, right, where obviously many people are religious, but
we are in a secular world, to be fair, though.
Yeah, exactly. Shouldn't the laws kind of reflect that?
The laws do,
but in this regard, should we
Herods
kind
around.
of?
Bunch of Herods.
Should we kind of just, I don't know, put more weight to the opinion of people who are not religious, since that's the majority of people?
Nah,
and
man.
so, you know what I mean? This whole idea.
The prayers of the righteous is why we haven't had some stuff going on in this country, mate. You're not welcome. Because the prayers of the righteous is keeping this land afloat. I'll tell you that now. Because boy, oh boy. I don't think necessarily. I think it's because, again, it's about the foundation of the earth. Because it's so funny, because that's why I always find this conversation so interesting, because people who are anti-abortion rights and anti-gay rights and all this stuff, they love to quote that this is traditionally or historically a Christian nation or a religious nation. I don't even know what religion is, but Christian or something like that, right? But then when it comes to things like this, the same people who didn't want gay people to have rights, or people want to get abortions to have abortions, will come and say, well, we're more secular, so we should go with that flow. Don't want like that. Because we can't keep changing from secular to religious, depending on the topic at hand. So we just need to stay to the roots.
All right, Brent, what's your thoughts, man?
Around euthanasia.
Yes, the thing we're talking about.
I had my phone in my hand.
Again,
So basically,
Read
I
the question,
believe that
Brent.
people should have the ability to decide if they don't want to be here anymore.
so you feel like suicide, for example, not even euthanasia now, suicide should be legal.
As in the type where you...
You do whatever you want, just get out of it.
No. As in you jump in front of a train?
You may want to do it in
No.
your house.
I don't think you should basically cause disruption to other people's lives like that and
so
traumatize them.
So what about if you just do it in your house? Nobody's there.
Then yeah.
Okay.
Well, you always
Is
talk about that-
this if you're terminally ill or something?
Yeah, so they say that they've got like a terminal illness or something like that.
I'm fine.
It's just dying.
Let me shut my mouth. Yeah.
Why?
I'm a Christian, so I shouldn't actually want people to be able to do this. But
So wait a minute,
in a
so you
world
don't
in
wanna-
which it is that I'm participating in this conversation, I'm not Christian.
So wait, you don't want to express your thoughts to heathens, but it's God you think you're keeping a secret from of what you really think?
No, not at all. In my mind, I'll be like, if they've tried everything,
Yeah.
they've also tried God, Jesus Christ. And if Jesus hasn't been able to basically pull them from the ledge, I don't know who else could
Allegedly
save them.
illness.
I don't know who else could save them.
But you're giving a time span, a time limit for God to work.
Yes,
All right.
as long as he needs.
Yeah, but you're not doing that as long as he needs. You're saying the person should give God, I don't know, 6 months, and if we can't do it in that time, I'm out of it.
So has the person actually subscribed to giving it a go?
Yeah, so this person has tried everything. They've tried believing, they've tried saying, I'm going to fight this and all that sort of stuff, and they can just see that over the last year or two, they've just been deteriorating.
I think they should basically pray to God
Okay.
to make it easier.
So what if they don't even believe in God?
No, like that's what I'm saying. For those who want to do that and they have no religious leanings, then they should be able to do that. I mean, in every religious person's eyes, they're going to the same place anyway,
Yeah, okay. I guess so.
right?
Well,
Well, it depends on your religion.
well.
Hold
Yeah,
up,
man.
let me
But that's the thing as well. I feel like about these things is
bring
that
Stacey up.
I feel like everyone should just, because if you're a Christian, obviously your thoughts will be of the Christian way. If you're Muslim or whatever the case might be, you have the religious. Most times you'd have that religious. You would think according to your religion, but if you're not religious, you don't give two craps. What I'm saying.
This is true.
Morning.
Good
Morning.
Morning, girl. How are you?
Good, long time.
I know, right? How you
Ish.
hanging in there?
You recovered?
I'm not too much.
Fair, man.
Sorry,
Fair.
before you continue, let me just comment on this bullshit.
Uh-oh.
What happened now?
Oh dear.
There are
Oh.
Bible passages about being lukewarm, Brent. I think everybody knows I'm a Christian, born
said
again
that?
Christian. Every
Why
single
the comment is not on the
person.
screen?
Oh, sorry.
Just the last comment in the
Proclaim your
chat.
stance with your chest, Brent.
And then this one.
The
Being
Bible passage
lukewarm.
is about being lukewarm, Brent.
Yo, mind your business, bro.
Maybe he's doing brotherly joke with you.
better
You know
be-
what's so
better be
annoying about
joking.
these Abby pictures? When I read these comments, I'm imagining that their profile picture is talking and Black Rob's photo. It's insane.
All right, cool. Sorry.
Um,
What are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts,
Stacey?
girl?
I think I'm kind of. I was going to say what you guys just finished kind of summarizing, so I'll probably be brief. But I find it interesting and kind of annoying when things like this, like euthanasia, abortion, etc., like those topics come up, and people fail to. I don't want to say accept the fact, but like be cognizant of the fact that like just because your religious beliefs is against something, like the world doesn't revolve around your religion. And I think it's a very Christian thing to do. And I'm Christian, so like it's not like I'm accusing an outside religion. But like sometimes I hear people talking the way they're willing to die on a hill that, first of all, if we have to look in the mirror sometimes, our own religion is not consistent. So like why do you expect that to be the standard of like the world. It's strange. Like, yeah, for you, like the Bible says XYZ, but like to someone else, what even is the Bible? Like, and why should I have any autonomy over my life? Like, you can practice what your Bible tells you to do if so long as you have that choice. But taking away someone else's choice in the name of your beliefs, to me, just is a weird thing that we've normalized. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like any state, nation, country should be able to say they are a religious country?
No, unless
Okay.
that's what your country was founded on. I think
Yeah.
America, the land of the stupid at this point, like literally, like this is our problem. The origin of what America is today was based on the idea that everyone should be able to come here and practice their own religion, yet somehow we're becoming this hyper Christian country. It's weird.
But wasn't there more Christians first? As much as you can come here and, you know, practice your own religious beliefs and whatever it may be, like the people that founded the country were meant to be Christians, right?
No, yes, but that the point was to not to not have their freedom of choice to practice whatever religion you choose. Like it's not predicated by the country and
Yeah.
the government.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
But yeah, it happens all the time.
I
It's
think,
weird.
but I think the issue is though, a lot of the time when people say you have the freedom to choose, they're still saying that from their perspective. And if their perspective is a Christian perspective, they're still feeling like it should be within certain confinement. You know what I'm saying?
And you can do that in your home, but when we're talking about making laws, why your Christianity shouldn't even be a thought. Like I get you have your own perspective, but there's people understand the concept of separation of church and state, but not in practice. Like the fact that people can have political discourse and they keep saying the Christian value part is still a part of it, or any religious value part is a part of the discussion. To me, is bogus because it's like that's the point of separation of church and state. Like you can't unless you are from a country where religion is a super part of the political sphere, which there are countries that are like that. I don't believe America should be one, and I don't think it started as one. I'm speaking from American perspective. Obviously, you're speaking from a UK perspective, but like, I don't see how this even becomes a question. Like, all of it is I'm projecting my religious values and taking away your choice. Like, how did we get here?
Well, I guess that one could argue, but you came here. You know what I'm saying? You came to my country, and my country is a Christian country. So don't come here and start saying how we're doing things is wrong. If for example, we believe as a Christian country or Muslim country, whatever it may be, that the sanctity of life comes from our belief in God, like surely our entire laws and rules that govern the land is going to have that sort of I don't know, influence there. You know what I'm saying? So if you ask me to take that away, they may argue you're asking me to take away the value I put on life as well. Because what value is there to life? They would argue if it doesn't come from the lens of a Christian one or a Muslim one or a Jewish one.
I think in 2024, it's hard to be so ignorant to the fact that there's a diversity exists,
Yeah.
especially in religion. Like, it's not just all about you. Like you can have your values, but you have the same way you have the choice to practice your religion, the same way someone else should have the choice to practice theirs, and like that shouldn't impact their ability to have choice all because of your religious views. I think I'm saying this all wrong.
No,
I
I
hope
feel
you
like
get what I mean.
I get what you're saying, but I don't know. Like it just makes me keep thinking about the fact that countries. Do you not believe countries belong to people?
The people who exist in them, yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody comes there, shouldn't you go there and kind of adhere to some of the things that the people who believe who lived there long before you, and have established certain laws, should kind of, I don't know, that they live by. Why should you
Repeat.
come into, so for example, you go to a Muslim country, right? Why should you go into a Muslim country mean you should be able to do whatever the hell you want to do? Why is it that when you come to the Muslim country, you don't do what they do?
That only becomes a problem if I'm losing my train of thought here. So sorry. That only becomes a problem if the majority of people suddenly are not Muslim.
Yeah.
Like then I think that's the whole point of like voting. Like what the country's laws should be a reflection in some way of the values of the people who are in them, new and old.
Yeah.
So if the old ones are no longer a reflection of the beliefs of the people who currently reside there, then you amend them. And then if laws don't exist based on people's values and beliefs, then you create new ones. But if the majority of the country remains Muslim and to them that makes sense, then cool until it's not.
Isn't that the case with America though? Is the majority not Christian?
No. Are you crazy? No.
Would you say it's just a straight secular
Christians
nation?
are just the loudest.
Even though we've got In God We Trust, even though we've got all of these things, like you pray when you go to when you do the inauguration.
God bless these United
you know what I'm
States
saying?
America.
You swear on the Bible, like everything is like replete throughout everything in
There's a lot
America.
of religious influence, but again, America is very diverse. So it's a weird one, and I think we're gonna have a lot more discussions like this in America, especially now after the horror story that happened 2 weeks ago, because now it's becoming a thing where like certain government officials. Oh, I've learned not have to blame the Republican Party instead of specifying certain people. The Republican Party really
Now
is
Stacey's
doing
working
this
on herself
thing
while she's been
about-
away.
the Republican Party is really doing their big one about, putting the Bible back in public schools. But it's like, why? Like, there are many kids who don't practice Christianity. There are Muslim kids. There are atheist kids. There are Scientologists. Like, there are different people practicing different things. And who are you to inflict your religion just because you exist specifically in the political sphere as the majority? That's not always a reflection of what the people are. And you're going in there and pushing this agenda that you all support, in these political spaces, and it's like that's not. You have to consider the fact that it goes beyond just you and your values when it comes to politics, in my opinion. And most times, if not all, that requires you to put religion aside because it's not a reflection of everybody. It's not absolute. If that makes sense.
And you feel as though everyone should have a say, and yeah, everyone should have a say in every law.
No, but I think that.
Okay.
Am I contradicting myself?
Kind of.
How?
Because you're saying it should be reflective of everyone that's there, right? If
you can't. Nothing is absolute, is what I'm trying to say. You can't have a hand in every single law. Obviously, that's why you elect officials who as close as possible reflect your beliefs.
Yeah.
So that way, it's like you're trusting them to be able to make the best decisions. They're leaders. Like you can't. Chiefs can't always be Indians. Indians can't always be chiefs. Like you have to have leadership that you trust to be able to make decisions accordingly.
I hear you. I don't know. Like for me, I just feel as much as the world is moving in a like secular direction, the world is still, many parts of the world anyway, still has the influence and the fingerprints of Christianity and Islam and you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. And so it's kind of hard to separate the two. People may say let's separate, you know what I'm saying, religion and all that stuff from the state, but how do you really do so? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I don't know, man. Like it's just hard to do so. Like
it's actually so easy.
It really isn't, though. It really isn't, because again, like I don't know, man.
People just don't want to be considerate. It's a choice.
I don't think it's a case of not being.
I think Christians do it the worst, but people don't want to be considerate. I feel like I could be so wrong. It could just be what I'm consuming. I feel like other religions don't OD the way Christians OD when it comes to stuff like this.
That is not true at all.
Awkward.
That is
not. Christians are most considerate. No one. That's why we get dunked on the most, because we're not going to do nothing.
What do you mean?
Like, look at what happened at the Paris Olympics. They were just taking the piss out of Christianity. Nothing happened. If they did that to certain other religions, there would have been issues. You can dunk on Christianity and nothing's going to happen.
No, I mean, when it comes to projecting our values, not when it comes to people attacking our values.
Yeah, okay, no, I agree with you. But the thing is, isn't the point of whether you're Christian or maybe I think Christian and Islam are the only two. I think Judaism maybe they're more of like a group where they're not even trying to evangelize to get more people in it. But isn't the point of someone that's religious to be like, yo, my way of life is the way to do it. You should join me, kind of thing. No,
Yeah.
isn't that what evangelizing is? Oh,
Yes.
you're basically Duncan saying, "Oh, why are you not always trying to get people to live the way you live?" Da, da, da. Isn't that the point of evangelizing?
Yes, but I think the way Christians do it is strange
Go on,
because it's
elaborate.
because it I I I feel like evangelism doesn't have to require you telling somebody it doesn't have to be accusatory.
There's different ways of doing it. I agree with you on that.
Right. And
But
I
sometimes it
feel
does.
like
Sometimes it does.
Christians
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. It
okay.
says judge righteously. It says judge righteously. So sometimes you like Jesus was soft with certain people, and then certain people he was. You know when them guys were like at the church and they were trying to sell stuff in that church, and he basically started whipping them. So I can't remember. There was a time when there were people in church trying to sell stuff, and he got annoyed, and he started whipping them with a stick or something like that. So it's like you can, if there's different ways evangelism takes place. But also when there's certain things going on in the world, and there's one thing that you said that I thought was quite true and quite interesting, where you said, oh, the laws should be a reflection. Laws are typically the reflection of the ideologies of the majority, right?
Mhm.
And I think that is exactly what is happening right now. As the West has become more secular and less religious, the laws are reflecting that. And that's why the laws are the way they are now. They're passing laws that are killing at the beginning of life. They're passing laws that are killing at the end of life. They're passing laws that you can change your identity. So the laws are a reflection of the society. So that's a quite astute observation. So and this all this stuff happens over and over again. Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah. What predicates the ends of wayward societies? Human sacrifice and sexual deviancy. Is that are we seeing some of that happening now? I'll let you guys decide.
All right.
Awkward.
Stacey, gonna respond or
I don't because I'm not following.
You don't follow.
No.
What didn't you follow in what I said?
I don't think I understand the context of what you're referencing. I
I'm
fear.
saying that I was saying I was actually agreeing with you, but I was expanding on your point where you said that the laws of the land are often a reflection of like the ideologies of the people,
Mhm.
the inhabitants of that land. So if the laws are becoming more wayward and becoming more godless, that's a byproduct of the people that are in that land. So if there's laws saying, yeah, you can. Christians, like religious Christianity says that, oh, your life is a gift, so it's not for you to take, right?
Mhm.
So therefore, you shouldn't be even taking your own life is like you're taking something that you don't have the authority to take because it's a gift given to you. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So if if people were more religious, this wouldn't even be a discussion. But because, as you said, the world is more circular and less people are religious, this is actually open for debate. So I understand why this is even being open for debate because we're in a more godless society. But also it's like I find it interesting that like you said you're a Christian as well. So sometimes you're going, oh, but like just because we believe this, they don't believe this. So like, why are you trying to impose your views on them? Everyone has their own ideologies, and for the most part, as a society, if the ideologies you hold, you think are probably better than the others. Otherwise, you would hold the other person's ideologies, right?
Okay, I'm
No?
now starting to kind of follow what it is that you're saying. I just feel like religion is not something that is standard. Like there's not one single religion that is more right or more wrong, despite what your religion teaches you. I'm Christian, but I can understand the concept of like to each his own. Like, yes, I want you to believe in God. Yes, like I believe in the morals of the Bible, but I don't think that requires me to say or to think. because you don't abide by, this mindset or this the mindset, the values of my religion, you are wrong, and I should limit your choices so that it aligns more with. But that is just, I don't understand. I understand diversity exists.
So Stacey, what you're saying to me is that you are a Christian, but you don't believe your religion is more right than another, right?
Right.
So then why are you a Christian if you don't believe? Because someone else, I think by proxy of being a part of one religion, you should think that yours is right and the others are wrong. No, otherwise you'd be part of another religion.
Not necessarily
Okay,
right
then-
or wrong, though.
Like that.
No, because religion, being part of a religion is making a truth statement, isn't it? It's saying that because there's what do you call
Interesting what it
it?
looks like.
It is because okay, let's stick to the
You're not wrong
Abrahamic.
either.
No, it is like because let's stick to the Abrahamic
You're saying
religions.
God is real, right?
Yeah,
That's what
no.
you're saying.
Christians believe that Jesus died and was resurrected. Muslims believe that Jesus existed, but he didn't resurrect. Jews believe that he died and he didn't resurrect as well. And so it's like, if you believe he died and resurrected, that means by proxy of believing that he resurrected, you believe in that the other two religions are wrong.
No, you're making sense.
So like because there's actual things that we disagree on, you have to like have a line and stand of if you believe yours is right, you have by proxy you have to believe the others are wrong.
No, but
because do you know there's religious pluralism means that if you think everyone's right, then actually you believe in nothing.
yeah, 100%. But it is Black Rob. It's not necessarily that somebody may believe the tenets or the actual beliefs statements of a particular religious organization, whatever it may be, is more true, but you may just believe that something suits you as an individual better than another religion. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what Stacey's basically trying to say.
Or maybe rather than saying it's a true statement, and I could just be mincing words here, it's a faith statement. Like, I have faith that this is true versus not knowing for sure. Does that make sense?
So Stacey,
But
you're
the way
practicing
you
Christian,
talked
yeah?
about
Stacey, you're practicing
Sorry.
Christian, yeah?
Yes.
All right. So do you believe everything in the Bible?
No.
Okay, cool. So okay, wait. So when you say no,
As in, like, as it happened, as the Bible said. That's not how I was taught.
Okay, cool. Do you believe that Jesus is the way, the truth, and life?
Yeah.
And the only way?
No.
Okay, cool. All right. So I think this is the reason why you may have these differences. You know what I'm saying? Because
that only comes from my understanding that not everybody believes
don't let society trick you out to your blessing, sis.
But hold on.
Don't let Emmanuel
No,
also trick you out of everlasting life
like
with Jesus Christ.
The line of questioning might just be because of the way this is happening and the order in which we're having this discussion. I feel like it's kind of leading the jury. Mm-hmm. Let me clarify what I mean.
God damn
easy
it.
question.
My understanding, the answers to all those questions are yes. But if we're dealing with what I see, not everybody believes that. So I'm going back to my original point, I guess, with my answer. Like, I can respect that somebody, respect might be the wrong word choice. I can, how do I say? Because it's not accept, it's not respect, but it's like I can acknowledge. There we go. I can acknowledge that someone else, that's not their belief, and that to me isn't justification to be accusatory of what is right versus what is wrong. It is wrong in my own personal belief, but heavy on the personal.
But Stacey, do you have the same stance when it comes to politics? Because you are batting for, like, the way you're talking about the Democrats for Republicans. You're talking more religiously than you're a bit more open to accepting other religious views than you are other political stances. You seem more religious on the political stance than you are on the religious stance, which it should be the other way around, really. If religion is, I think there's higher stakes in religion than politics, in my opinion.
You're saying that I sound more religious when it comes to religion versus when I'm talking about politics? I'm confused.
No, you sound more religious when it comes to politics than because you sound more religious when it comes to politics than religion.
Interesting. I don't think so, personally.
No, because you just said that. Oh yeah, you're open to, like, you can understand how other people's you're more open to understanding the stances of people from other religions, even if you don't agree with them, right?
Right.
But
But I think that's what makes
you would not
that's
say
one
the
of the
same
fine
statement for
lines.
like Republican versus Democrat, would you? Because
But
you're the one.
that's the difference between the two. Oftentimes, a lot of the times, Republicans, and not we don't have to go down the political road
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
election has passed. But a lot of the times, Republicans are hyper projecting Christian values on a nation that is not 100% Christian,
I think what I was
and
trying to
that's
get again from
oftentimes
that.
an issue.
Yeah.
That's
What I was
it.
trying to
That's
say
it.
for that is that like politics isn't to me like I was just trying to see the juxtaposition where in reality I think there's higher stakes in religion than politics if you believe in religion because you're talking about your soul rather than 4-year cycle of policies, and yet the way, and I think this is indicative of quite a lot of people where they're like their stances are so much more they ride off more for their political party than they are for their, because like I don't believe in religious pluralism where everyone can be right and there's 20 different ways to the same. We're all different routes to the same God and all that stuff. Because I don't think that actually stands the test of logic. Because if every religion it could potentially be right, then why do they have stances that oppose each other?
Iman, shots fired.
Okay, but
He's talking to you.
my thing
He's
is
subbing you in, bro.
everybody
It's not
everybody
about me.
should choose what they're willing to risk. If you think that practicing Christianity is gonna be the gateway to heaven, amen, I agree with you. But to somebody else, whatever their beliefs are in their religion, that is what they feel like they should abide by, and they're willing to accept the stakes of whatever their religion is. I think that is your choice. If we
What was
all
disagreeing with
die
you?
and after this, Christians end up in heaven and everyone else ends up in hell, my own is that's your choice. What am I to project? What I Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? I
I
just
Yeah.
understand
feel
what
like
you're saying, but as a
when it comes to
Christian, isn't it?
politics, everybody should have their own choice. If your choices damn you to hell, let that. Everyone has the afterlife they deserve. I'm not here to project what I feel onto. I understand that everyone is different.
You
It's
know,
not
it
about
is.
projecting, though. You know,
No,
It
I
is a
just,
projection.
I was just gonna say, I think
you call
it's.
evangelism projecting.
No, I call the way that people go about evangelism projecting. I think back to the original. I think this is how we kind of veered
Yeah,
at
yeah.
this particular
Sorry,
point.
yeah.
Like, no. All conversation is a good conversation. Where I think so a lot of times Christianity goes wrong when it comes to evangelism. Again, I'm speaking as someone who believes in God. I am a Christian. I'm not calling out a faith that is not mine. I think a lot of the time we are accusatory way more than how others go about their evangelism. I feel like other religions, and this again could be a product of what I'm exposed to. Maybe that's not, the majority of what other people see, but I feel like other religions, when it comes to people them evangelizing, it's more okay, let me encourage your curiosity. Let me get you to understand where we're coming from and, convert your beliefs in that way. Whereas Christianity is like, no, you are wrong. You are this. Like, this is the word of God. I'm just like, I don't.
No, but there needs to be the righteous judgment. They say the righteous judgment is good, and I think even in the Bible, there's different ways of doing things. Like you have to every movement has their Malcolm and their Martin, for example. So like for every someone like me who's probably a bit more like fire and brimstone and more leans towards Malcolm, there's gonna be someone that's a bit more like does it in probably more of a loving, nurturing, hey, let me just show you by the way I behave, like I'm not gonna impose my, but you need both in all honesty. Do you know what I'm saying? But obviously the loud people are the ones that get the most attention. But like if you do everything softly, that's why look at the stuff that, okay, from a Christianity standpoint, look at the laws that are getting repealed in America that maybe, forget, if you're a Christian, you're probably happy about some of them, but they wouldn't have got repealed if there wasn't like almost like a fire and brimstone approach to getting stuff done. Like this, like for example, going back to this topic about euthanasia, if we just like, oh, that's not nice, we should stop. But sometimes someone has to be like, nah, this ain't happening. Someone has to be a bit more aggressive with their stance, because if you truly believe your religious is right, that means that you should think that by stopping this euthanasia law, you're stopping people from basically securing their damnation. Because if you commit suicide, you're going straight to hell in the Bible. That's what the Bible says. So if you believe that to be true, you should see yourself trying to stop a euthanasia law as you saving people.
Is that how you see it, bro?
Is it a case of like
That's what the
like,
book says, isn't it?
No. Is that how you see it?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So you would also be opposing abortion.
This one's a tricky one.
No, don't tricky now. Don't tricky now. Someone has just been trigger warning raped, right?
Yeah. So this is my. Do you know what my stance is on that is? My stance on
How is
that.
there room for you to have a stance with what you just said? Like,
run it. Go on, run it. You have the stage, bro.
Nah, I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one. I got a strong opinion on this part.
Isn't that you who was just telling me God is if God is who you believe in?
Bro, stop being lukewarm.
System, but this is the place. The thing is, if you don't let me talk if you don't let me have a long form answer, then they can get cut. And
but you have the stage, though.
So
everybody listen carefully.
Nah, you're gonna.
You had to say that, didn't it, man? This guy.
Yeah, I need Joe Rogan money to give my opinion on this.
Somebody said it in the chat.
I need Joe. You don't assume my opinion. You don't heard me talk enough. You probably assume what I'm gonna say. Just assume it.
Somebody summed up basically what I've been trying to say the whole time. Her name is T. She said, I think Stacey is saying everyone is within their rights to follow what they believe in. That's exactly what I'm saying. If your beliefs lead you to hell, what's my own? It's me who believes in God. I don't feel like God would have given us the freedom of choice if the options were not meant to be utilized. It's for you to be able to commit your life to your beliefs, and you will reap the repercussions or the benefits accordingly. But again, that is something that you have to choose. I don't feel like you removing choice is saving people. I do as
question for you. If in the Bible it says suicide is will send you to hell, yeah. Mm-hmm. So if in the Bible it says that, yeah, and as a Christian you should believe that if that's what it says. If you can stop more people from committing suicide, by proxy, do you think you're saving them?
Repeat the question one more time.
If in the Bible it says committing suicide will send you to hell, right? Mm-hmm. And you're a Christian, then if 50 people were going to commit suicide and you can stop 30 of them from committing suicide, would you do what it takes to stop those 30 people?
From dying or going to hell?
From committing suicide.
As a I don't understand the point here. Is it to save them from dying or from going to hell?
Same thing.
No, because you might not be doing suicide, but you might be out here fornicating. So what's my own?
Yeah, but okay, I said just suicide. You don't know what they're gonna do after. Maybe some of them might give their life after that. You don't know, but you're stopping the immediate the suicide. Would you do what it sounds like to me? Yeah, basically.
I may, but I don't think it would be for the same reasons that you're thinking. I would just be like, I don't want you to die, so I would like to make an effort to make sure that's not the result. I guess what I'm saying is, are you asking you are doing a good deed in the essence of your religion, like you are saving them from because you referenced the Bible first. You said if the Bible says suicide will land you in hell, I'm saving them from hell.
I reference the Bible because I don't want people to think I'm just giving my own opinions when I say certain stuff. So the things I say is because it's like that's why I'm saying that there's certain things that I'm always dumbfounded when I have like a difference of opinion with other Christians on when there's the source says one thing, so it's like we shouldn't even be arguing about this. There's certain things that are up for like debate and stuff like that, but there's certain things I'm like, how are we disagreeing if we are supposed to be having the same ideology?
But isn't that how we have different denominations? Because people have different perspectives on the scripture.
But that's why I said there's certain things that are cut and dry. There's certain things that are cut and dry. There's certain things that are not open for interpretation. So when I speak to other Christians and then they're kind of bobbing and weaving about certain topics that is clear as day what it says, then I'm a bit confused.
When I said Christianity is inconsistent, you people want to throw stones at me. that's quite literally where denominations come from. Like
You know what you should
different.
search the terminology cultural Christian, because maybe that's like a bit more of a line to like, because like there's certain, as I said, if there's things that are cut and dry that we should all agree on and we disagree on it, then it's like then it questions, are we in the same
Yeah,
group? Do you know what I mean?
but Stacey's not a cultural Christian from what she's saying though. Like she's not that. She actually is a practicing. She believes that the word of God is infallible, right? And you know what I'm
No,
saying?
but
Like,
she also said that like she said that there's multiple ways like to God and stuff like that. There's different, like not all religions, other religions
yeah,
can
but
be
she
right as
kind of
well.
clarified. But she kind of clarified. She
Say
basically
that.
she basically said, "Oh, you know what? It's more so that I believe people have the right to choose to get there in whatever
Thank
way."
you.
You know what I'm saying? Not
No,
that it's a
everyone's got a right
legit
choice.
thing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So how did we get here?
I'm going off what you said. I'm just regurgitating what you said.
I just
But you
feel
clarify,
I
that's
just
fine.
feel that he's talking to Emmanuel through you, Stacey.
all
Yeah, I'm talking to both of you, mate. I just
All I'm saying and have been trying to say is when it comes to legislation, when it comes to us saying should anyone be allowed to do something, it's hard for you to stand firm on what someone should and shouldn't be allowed to do when your moral compass is based on a religion that is not applicable to the 100% of the people that are going to have to abide by this rule that you're trying to enforce. That's all.
why do we legislate? Why do we legislate on other stuff like we all legislate on murder, but like that's that most of the legislations are based off of
You have to take a
Judeo-Christian.
different example because murder cannot possibly where you're setting the bar. I don't think there's any
What?
religion that believes that murder is righteous.
Are you sure? Let me not say that because I don't want to get in trouble. But there's okay. But yeah, there's most of the legislation is based off of the skeleton framework of the legislation we have today is religion. But now they're picking it apart slowly. But as I said, because the world's become more secular.
Child.
And also, there's a difference between with suicide. At the end of the day, suicide, anyone can commit suicide. I don't want to be flippant about it, but like, suicide isn't something that you can stop someone from doing now. The problem I have with it is that when you support it legislatively, more people will do it.
I think that regardless, choice overrules. I don't believe that anybody we are for us to be on this hill of we are not God. We sure do have an interesting God complex when it comes to certain things. Like I just feel like choice to me, I would rather you if I'm a Christian, I'd rather you choose God than me, and I think that applies to my stance with a lot of things, not just this particular topic. I'd rather you have access to all options and choose what I believe to be the right thing. But that shouldn't me backing you into the corner of right when your mind is not aligned with what I feel like is right. Who does that help? I just yeah, like I just give people choice to do whatever they please, obviously without it impacting others. And if they're aligned with what's great.
It's not one last thing, Black Rob. Demi just asked you a question because you brought it up. He wants to know which religion promotes murder.
No, I'm not going into that. I'm not getting into that.
Why are you run away from the question?
Because I've over my time I've learned what to broach and what not to broach.
Lukewarm Christian.
I've learned what to broach. So back to what I said though, you didn't like what I said was that if you legislatively support something that wasn't legislatively supported before, more people will do it. What do you so why would you want it supported if more people will do it?
I don't think it's a more people will do it. It's a thing of people are doing it anyway, and if it's going to be done, I'd rather it be done legally and safely, and there's procedure to it versus people who are going to do it anyway, and it's just egregious.
So you don't mind that more people will do it if it's legislatively supported?
No, it's not. Let's use the abortion example very quickly because I also don't want to run in circles. Abortion. People are going to be having abortions regardless of whether it's legal or not. If they're going to do it and their beliefs, no matter how much I can be anti-abortion, like if they're going to do it safely so that you're not just killing hey, killing the child is even incorrect rhetoric. So that you're not
No,
just
it's
terminating the
perfect
pregnancy,
rhetoric.
but
No,
you're not
don't use
terminating
that
your
as an
life as
ad
Don't
lib
say
well.
that now.
opportunity. Don't do that.
No,
No,
okay,
but
I'll keep quiet. I'll keep quiet. I'll keep
no,
quiet.
I'm just saying, like, I don't want women to find themselves in a predicament where their ability to choose legally is taken away, so they go through these different means that are unsafe and harmful to them. Now we've lost 2 lives instead of one. So
Okay, so
why?
but
If that's
back
your
to euthanasia.
choice, you reserve the right to your choice. Similar with euthanasia. Why should I? What
I don't like how
you
he's talking to
suffering?
you.
What does that
I don't
impact
like it.
my own life?
I responded
If that's
already.
you want, what you
No, he
want,
didn't.
and you are in a sound mind to choose that for yourself, what is my own? I may
But isn't
not
that the problem
support
with
it.
society anyway? The problem with society is that doesn't affect me, so why should I care? So is it only the things that
It's
affect you
not
you should
about
care
why should
about?
I care. Why am I dying on the hill of someone else's battle?
No, it's the same
It's
thing. You're
not.
saying the same thing.
I'm not.
It doesn't affect
I'm
me,
not
so I shouldn't
going.
care.
Am I going to hell because I voted for someone to be able to practice euthanasia?
Um,
Is it not them who's going to deal with the repercussions of their choice in hell?
you're,
What's my business? I'm not
you're remixing what
advocating
I'm
for it.
saying. You're
No,
remixing what
no,
I'm saying, but you're still
and
saying
I
it
now
doesn't
I
affect
understand.
me, so why should I care?
No, now I can more clearly communicate my point. Thank you for getting me here.
Okay, cool.
You choosing to support people's choice is not advocating for them to do it. I think we confuse that a little bit too often. Am I pro-choice? Yes, but am I advocating for abortion? No. Am I pro people the people's ability to choose to euthanize? Is that the right word? Euthanize themselves? Yes, but am I advocating for you to go that route? Never. But that I don't. I hope to God I'm never in a position where I have to be faced with that choice for myself. But if I am faced with that choice, I would like to have the choice.
So question: where does the argument for this? Because people always use the argument of um, choice, having not taken someone's choice away to do something is an infringement of their rights. So okay, so in Colombia they've just stopped people from being able to marry children. The same argument someone could make is that, how dare you take away my choice? I had this choice before and now you're taking it away from me. That's not an argument sometimes, just because because something's morally reprehensible, because it was a choice that was given, that you were allowed to do before, because it's taken away from you doesn't mean that it's a choice. It's like something that it's a right that you've lost. Have I lost you, or do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but I feel like I kind of what I've said should have been general enough to cover everybody's opinion. Like, if you want to go that route and you want to have that choice, let that be your own. If not, I'm not going to choose to. If this is about religion, which is where we ended up bringing this topic to, I, I know my faith. I know what I can and can't do or should or shouldn't do based on what I believe in, and I'm not going to make the choice to do that, regardless of
So,
what
so,
other people do with their own.
So, Black Rob, do you
so you
feel?
support something? Go on.
So I was just going to ask you, do you feel like, obviously this is a bit of a hypothetical, well, very much so hypothetical, but do you believe that all buildings outside of, I don't know, hospitals, homes and the like should be made churches? Or are you okay with people having the right to make those other buildings what they please?
I don't even understand this question.
What I'm basically getting at is, I think Stacey's basically saying I could advocate for people to have choice, but not necessarily to have this specific choice, if that makes sense. I'm not saying it's okay to terminate pregnancies, but if somebody wants the choice to do so, let them have it. So, and you're basically trying to say, well, in some respect, she's less of a Christian because it's kind of going against Christian values. And so I'm basically saying, if you are allowing people to have the choice to be a Muslim, to be a Sikh, are you not less of a Christian? Why not put certain things in place to make sure the only place to go is a church building so people can get the word and so they can end up in heaven?
I'm always cautious about talking about someone else's how speaking to the sanctification of someone else's. But what I would say is that if the book says something and it says something clearly, and then you are pro a law that will make, if the book says something is a sin and then you are pro a law that will make that sin easier, think about it.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay. All right, fair enough, man.
Simple as that.
I don't agree.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Appreciate you calling in. We got to wrap up the show, man.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, man. Thank
Toodles
you very much for calling. Amazing discussion as always. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
You need to get more on fire for God, Black Rob. This lukewarm ducking and diving, shucking and driving. Yeah, I don't think it's acceptable. Not for Jesus Christ. But thank you very much, Stacey and Black Rob. I like how I've been able to put this little thing on the screen so that everyone can see who's actually chatting. Yeah. Anywho, let's push on. What is it?
Wrap up, man.
Oops. What have I done here? Oh, I need to take a screenshot.
Denmark, but she came up higher than Miss South Africa. So just wanted to give that information to the people because this is what we're about, information. No agenda tied, just information. All right, we spoke.
You delivered it differently to how I delivered it yesterday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you got a lot of agenda in your voice. Mine was with love.
It's still love. It's still
Big up
love,
her there.
guys. Yeah, big up
Great
every time.
prizes.
I've got
May you continue to win for
something
Nigeria.
to share whilst we're here. Some lovely person in the community sent this to the TDA account.
My name is Bill Flynn, I'm 14 and I've been the elected Young Male Evolution since February. I'm excited to launch this TikTok channel because in my manifesto I said I wanted young people's voices to be heard more, and TikTok is a way for young people to feel more connected and more related to. On this page, you'll expect to see stuff that I'm doing in my last few months as young mayor. For example, I organised a skating event, a basketball event, and I visited 2 different primary schools to talk about my experience and how I became the young mayor. And you'll also expect to see what I'm planning on doing with my 25k budget. So more things in employment and more volunteering for young people. Don't forget that there is an upcoming election for the next Young Male Evolution after me when I leave. So if you want, put yourself forward for that, and on this page you'll see like the different candidates and how the election will be run. So thank you for watching. Bye guys.
So proud of my daughters. That was her.
That's so
100%,
cute.
man.
She's adorable.
Well
That's
done.
what we need. More beautiful young black children doing beautiful black things, man.
Big up her, man.
Big up every time. Yeah, beautiful, man. All right, guys. So we spoke about charges being considered in the election date betting scandal. Basically, those 5 people, up to 5 people allegedly, including a politician, possibly are basically facing prosecution in the betting scandal over the day of the general election. Apparently, they knew something that everybody else didn't know, and they bet on the general election being held on the 4th of July, and they made a lot of money. Home Secretary is due to announce an extra £500 million for neighbourhood policing. We spoke about that. We also spoke about how thousands of farmers are basically descending on down the street to protest against the inheritance tax changes. We also spoke about Biden adding fuel to the fire. At least this is what the Russians are saying, as he's allowed the Ukrainians to fire US missiles into Russia. We also spoke about UNRWA saying that almost 100 Gaza food aid lorries have been violently looted. So it's crazy over there. And we spoke about top Hong Kong pro-democracy leaders who have been jailed. One person, I believe, got 10 years and somebody else got 4 years for being pro-democracy over there. We also had a walk of joke, man. Guys, next year you may be able to buy sunlight. You know what I'm saying? Save up your money, man. And also, we spoke about the Australian gold miner who's looking to pay Mali $160 million to free detained CEO and executives. Also, and trigger one of these ones, guys, the UN has said that acute food insecurity will be hitting the people of South Sudan next year. It's going to be a lot worse, man. Apparently, almost 60% of South Sudan's population will be affected next year. So sad, man. Of course, we told you the scores yesterday's football. And we had an amazing discussion, man. Big up Stacey and big up Black Rob. Big up the TDA team and you guys as well for tuning in, contributing in the chat. We spoke about assisted dying. On the 29th of November, this country, the MPs will be voting. And so I guess we'll probably have the discussion again then when we, let you guys know what happened. That's pretty much it.
Follow us on socials, please. The Day After TNB on Instagram, X, Discord and on TikTok, and also subscribe to the channel. And like the video, please.
God willing, we have a fantastic guest coming in tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
amen.
man.
It's going to be really interesting.
Should be.
And our boy Ramsey, Diversity Hire, will be here too, God willing.
That's right. We care about the others.
Well, goodbye.